Okay, hi everyone. Let's try this again. Welcome to the guided notes video on simplifying radicals. This is meant to be a refresher. If you find that you need extra help and time, send me a message or look on YouTube or Khan Academy for simplifying radicals. All right, so to simplify means that what you're going to do is one, look inside the radical where inside the radicand where there is no perfect square. So for example, the square root of 36 would give you a perfect square of 6. The square root of 24, like in our example below, isn't a perfect square, and so what you have to do then is break that down into two factors, one of which is a perfect square. So I see the square root of 6 times the square root of 4. 4 is the largest perfect square that will divide evenly into 24. Once you take the square root of that perfect square, it comes outside of the radicand, and what's left inside that you can't take the square root of comes out. This is the simplified version. Now, the other way to simplify is to make sure that there is no radical in the denominator, and that is called rationalizing the denominator. So when you have something like simplify the square root of 7 over 2, another way to think of that is the square root of 7 over the square root of 2. I can, in a sense, distribute that operation of taking the square root to both the 7 and the 2. Problem, I can't have a radical sign in the denominator. I undo that by rationalizing, that's our word, because square root of 2 is irrational. I do that by rationalizing. If something is irrational, the opposite of that is to try to make it rational, right? Just like the opposite of multiplication is division, the opposite of addition is subtraction. Here, the opposite of irrational is rational. I have to do the opposite operation to undo the thing I want to get rid of. So, the square root of 7 times the square root of 2 is the square root of 14. And the square root of 2 times the square root of 2, well, that's the square root of 4. Ta-da! The whole point of this is to get rid of the radical sign in the denominator, and there is your answer. I want you to leave it just like that because that is the simplest form. I do not want a decimal answer. I want a radical answer over 2, please.